California, go!
Fucking fuck, he worked at a classy gas station if they were donating to charities. You working at a gas station, you get used to people getting arrested in the parking lot, in the store. But we had a prize winner this week. I had one of my coworkers arrested in the store during their shift. And my boss called me up and said, he's been arrested. They found a crack pipe in his pocket. Can you believe it? And I was like, did you ever talk to him? I believe it. Jesus Christ, he was a Tweegosaurus Rex, man. You tell him to clean something, he would do that for 6 hours. She does not know meth heads. She should not be hiring. Anyway, so you want to talk about redneck shit or back when mama used to still fuck? Which one? Oh, both. Okay, good idea. So, I knew this fella. I called him my Russian handyman because he was. He actually, I live in an old fucked up house and he would come over and fix it. He was my nephew's friend. I thought I was getting a heck of a deal. $7 an hour and all the beer he could drink. Now, this was the first Russian that I got well acquainted with. The first time I invited him over, I had a 6-pack. He worked for 5 minutes and he was like, no what? So, I had a lot of work to do, so I got used to buying a case of beer and having him work on shit. I needed to get a sink replaced. Now, this is a homie. We've been friends for 2 years. Passed out on my couch many a time. No chemistry, I thought. But he came to help me replace the sink, and I picked it up one-armed, and he looked at me and he goes, you strong like ox. And the next thing I knew, we were fucking. And it was wild. You know, it's 20-something Russian. It was a very frat boy fuck. You know the girls know what I'm talking about. The guys are like, ooh, you know. It starts out with way too hard of a pound, too many position changes, totally unnecessary. And I was like, that was cute. So then the next weekend, I was like, you're going to come over and help me with the fence, right? He's like, yes, baby, I helped you with fence. He shows up in his regular car, not the work truck. He's all dressed up, and he's got a bottle of wine in his hand. I said, no, bitch. I wanted help with the fence. Get your tool belt. And he's like, no, I came for fun, but if you want, I put on tool belts too. I said, go get the fucking tool belt, whore. Because you're a little biscuit. Like, I'm telling you, the tool belt, here's the trick. If you got small feet, you grab the belt with one hand and you get your foot in the nail bag. And it's as hot as a sex swing. Let me tell you that right now. So, then I learned, you know, that it was like if I wanted to get work done, I had to tell him you're here to work first. When the work is done, then we can have some fun. And that went on for longer than I expected because he was hot and I'm not. And, you know, I don't know. Until he got popped for cocaine possession and then he fled from the law. So, you know, I don't. All right, so that's enough. Next dumb redneck shit. He does hit me up. He's like, I miss you. I was like, well, you can't come back. You're going to be doing a solid dime if you do. So I grew up very, very wildly redneck by a man who was obsessed by owning a boat. And we're talking about a guy that could sink a canoe in the backyard. So my mother was like, no, you don't get to buy a boat. You don't get to buy a boat. You don't get to buy a boat. But he snuck off one time and bought a boat. And this was the big sale thing. This was a big sales pitch to my mother. This is a bellboy. It's technically a 16-foot ocean skiff. It is lined with styrofoam. It is technically unsinkable. Technically. Very important. First time we took it out, let's bear in mind, he was a drunk. My mother was the only one that was employed, and they had 3 children. They had not made their first payment, and there was no insurance on this boat. He didn't know what he was doing, and he backed it in. If you don't know boats, there's an important component to a boat. It's called a boat plug. It's for draining water out when you're done. He neglected to put it in the first place. He let the boat loose, went back up, and it proceeded to fill with water. By the time he waddled back down, it was about half full of water. backed the truck back down. He's like, I'll just pull it out. It'll run out. In case you flunked physics, water is fucking heavy. Chained it up, started pulling it out. Way too fast, that chain broke. And that boat stood up on its tail and went toot, down the cement ramp into the Snake River. And my mother, God bless her, I still don't know what she was thinking. She kicked off her sandals and dove like Greg Louganis after that boat. Swimming. My father did what was expected and panicked. He had a 3-on-the-tree truck. Instead of throwing it in the park, he threw it in reverse, jumped out, and immediately ran himself over with the truck. We did eventually get the boat secured. We got help, got water out of the boat. We're driving back home. And the only time I ever heard my mother drop the F-bomb was on that ride. She was like, I'm never getting that fucking boat again. And it was prophetic because they were divorced 8 months later. My name is Tanya Cope, but my friends are short and that's Taco. You have a good night, friends.